I'll tell you a little quick story what happened one day, 5 years ago. I was dating a nurse named Nurse Grace. And on her birthday, which was always May 12th, she had always wanted to be going to the Hilltop Restaurant in Saugus, Massachusetts. Hilltop Restaurant. Loved the steak there. And so it was a little ritual on her birthday. That's where we would go. Now, the Hilltop Restaurant, for anybody that's been there, had these big, huge plastic cows outside, about 20 of them. And the college students used to run up there at nighttime, grab a plastic cow and put it up on the top of the roof of MIT and whatever. And so you're almost feeling like you're cattle when you go in there yourself because they push you through and there's thousands of people that eat there each day. And they put you off into different rooms, Carson room, Sioux City for two, blah, blah, blah. And so we had a nice seat set up in the Carson room. Now, right here in the middle of the floor was 16 chairs set up, long table. And we said, oh, that must be a party, a wedding party of some sort. And in comes this group of 16 people, and at the head over here was looked like a fairly young gentleman, and he seemed like he was like either the master of ceremonies or it was in his honor or whatever. We really didn't pay much attention. And everybody started to make their orders, their drinks, and they started to get their dinner orders in. And I asked Nurse Grace, I said, what would you like? She said, I'd like a white Russian, please. So I got her a white Russian, and what would you like? She said, I'd like a lobster. And I said, that's fine for your birthday, but don't ever do it again. That's it. Never. So I said, I'll take a steak. Medium rare, thank you. Well, we're about 15, 20 minutes in. We're having a nice chat, nice conversation about getting old and all of this. And I looked over, and I could see the man seemed to be choking like this. And they were all in conversations. Nobody was looking. And I sort of looked again, and my Boy Scout training kicked right in. I said, I think the man's choking. I never said a word to Grace, but I just jumped up quick, and I knocked the table over. And I got squash and baked potatoes all over me. The drinks went everywhere. She came up like this, and I made one leap, and I jumped over this man that was on this corner, and I jumped to the man. I knocked this fella down. I jumped to the man, pulled him off by his chair, and got behind him, and I pushed. Nothing happened. Well, now I look at the table, and the whole table is people. The men are thinking I was fighting, and I was doing something to their friend, their buddy, their hooey, and they knocked their stuff down, and second shot, boom, out comes the piece of meat. Now, the man was shocked. And I slowly moved the chair that I had knocked down. I sat him back up and I put him on the chair. And he just sort of looked up like this at me. And the people there sort of like the ones that wanted to be combative with me, they sort of like settled down a little bit, and they started to sit down a little bit. But now it was silent. And the other people in the restaurant, they weren't saying anything. And so I sort of just walked back to my table. This time Nurse Grace has picked up everything and the napkins, and she's tried to take care of some of the water and everything that's been spilt. And so I sat down, and her words were, are you all right? Are you okay? I said, yeah. I said, I can't believe it. The guy was choking. She said, I saw him. And she said, I have in my pocketbook all the time, I have an airway, a plastic that can go down somebody's throat, but it's no good if you've got a piece of meat in there. I said, well, I know, but I said, it just kicked in my Boy Scout and popped it and boom. And I look from here, I look over at him to see if he's still okay. And now he's focusing on his food. He's focusing down here on his food. And it seemed funny to me. It seemed unusual, because I would be used to somebody saying at that moment, oh, thank you so much. Thank you for helping me out. Thank you. I know what that meant for you to jump up like that. I got no response whatsoever. This man started to eat his food. The people around him, 16 people at that table, started the conversation like nothing had happened. They were talking to each other. Hi, how you doing? How's it going? What's happening? How's your steak? How's your lunch? How's your dinner? And I said to Nurse Grace, I said, do you see what's happening over here? It's like, I said, did I just do something that hurt somebody? Or did I, is this something that, is normal everyday stuff for these people? She said, I think they're all embarrassed. They're all embarrassed. I said, they're all embarrassed. I'm the one wearing the squash, the potatoes, the butter, the water, and you're telling me that they're embarrassed and that they don't want to be known that they just had this problem? I said, I'm the one that just got everything taken care of. And I said, it's no good deed ever goes unpunished, I guess. And she said, well, I said, they're probably going to just pick up my check. That's what they're going to do. That's why they're not even saying a word. Or maybe they're going to send me a drink over. Or maybe they're going to give Nurse Grace, maybe found out it was her birthday, and maybe they give her a nice strawberry shortcake. Nothing seemed to be happening. 25 minutes go by, we had finished up. Now I'm getting a little angry. I'm thinking to myself, well, if some guy just saved my life, I just might just have said, thank you, not a problem. And so I grab Nurse Grace by the arm and we start to walk out. And I'm thinking, I'm going to whack him so hard on the top of his head as I go by him. And I'm going to say to him, I just wanted to find out if you're alive. That's all I wanted to know. Here's nothing more, just for good keeping. But I didn't. And Nurse Grace knew I wanted to do it. She said, don't say a word. She's seen me in action. Well, we go by and I look. And the table is silent. 16 people at that table. The table was silent. And I said, you see, Grace, what's happened to the world? This whole world has changed. I don't know who we are, what we're doing. I don't understand it. They're embarrassed. They didn't want to be known as the guy that got choked. But look at us. And we're walking out looking like we just had, a romp in mashed potatoes. We get to the door and we open the door to go out, and the maitre d' from the Hilltop comes running out. He said, sir, he said, my service just told me what happened in there. And he said, I'd just like to thank you so much. I said, not a problem. I said, I think I got like zombies in there or something. I don't know. I said, I know what I would have done if it had been reversed. And he said, well, I'll tell you what. Next time you come, he said, dinner's on us, the Hilltop. He said, you see me. He said, my name's Jerome. He said, we'll make sure you have dinner for two. I said, well, thank you. At least, that kind of pays for the, for the cleaning and the whole works. He said, Dad, I'm sorry that happened, but he said, people are strange nowadays. Well, it just proves to me that it doesn't matter sometimes. Here's a person that he could have easily asked me for my telephone number, or could have sent a drink over or whatever. People think different. And so, I don't know today how people are going to react in the years to come. But I do know one thing's for sure. These are individuals I don't want to have anything to do with, especially for the rest of my life. And let's hope that I never run into that situation again. Thank you.